Hello, my name is Tammy Jo Banasiak, and I'm going to talk to you about what I've learned in this class, Business 101, so far. In Chapter 1, we discussed a few things, one of which is business owners take risks, and they do so in hopes to make money. Some people think that owning a business is easy, and it's absolutely not. You give up time with your family, you risk your own money, you can even lose your house if you go under, but you do gain some things, like independence. You don't have someone over you all the time telling you what to do, when to do, where to do it, what to wear, and for some people that is more ideal. And for other people, that is really, really scary. Another thing in Chapter 1 that we discussed is the economy. In these days with the internet and technology, even a small mom and pop shop can compete on a global level. And that's pretty exciting. So, you no longer have to think about just your neighborhood or just your town or even just your state. You can compete globally. Chapter 2 discussed a few things like macro and microeconomics. Macro meaning big and micro meaning small. So macroeconomics would be like the global economy or even the economy of a country. Microeconomics could be anywhere from your own budget to, say, like a city. They're smaller. Then it discussed rights. So, like, the basic 4 rights under the free market capitalism, which is the right to own property. And that is really, really exciting. In some countries, you really don't own property. The government owns it. And for Americans, that seems odd. We like to own our houses, we like to own our cars, we like to own our intellectual property. And so that's, you know, a big deal for us. The right to own a business and keep the business profits. So we believe if we work hard and we make money, we should be able to keep money, right? Pretty simple. We like that. The freedom of competition. So say you have SPD, Inzer, Titan, Pioneer, Best, Mark Bell. All these people make powerlifting belts, but because of their right to compete, they are allowed to make powerlifting belts and they're encouraged to make powerlifting belts. And that's exciting, especially if you compete and say, you look at the IPF list, for example. The IPF is, there are some competitors, but the list is very, very small of who you can buy from and who they allow on the platform. So you go to the USPA or the IPL, and their list is bigger. They just have to meet the specs. So the IPL meets that right of competition better and gives you the freedom of choice. Now you take that one step further and you go to Pioneer, generalleathercrafting.com, and you can express yourself. You get to have the freedom of expression and the freedom of speech. You can do all sorts of crazy things on your belt, and it's amazing. You can put your name, you can put your country, you can make your country flag, you can do Marvel characters if you draw it in its fan art. And that is way outside the norm for a lot of people when they just order a black belt. And I don't know about you, but I get really, really tired of seeing the same black belt. Now in Chapter 3, we discussed things like licensing. And licensing is pretty exciting. Companies like Disney license a lot. So you pay a fee and you can make and market a specific product and you share the profits. Okay, cool. So the person that engineered or designed the product to begin with gets money and they don't have to make everything and design everything every time. This is beneficial for both parties. Another licensing, Broncos. You see Bronco gear everywhere, and people pay a licensing fee to make Bronco gear to support BSU or the Denver Broncos, but they have to pay the fee or they'll face legal ramifications. And another point is strategic alliances. So people make deals to support one another. Like Dana Lynn Bailey and Mark Bell. They support one another. They collaborate on certain things. Another example would be Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw. They're currently working together on filming something. And then they're doing YouTube things as well. So they both film together and they get on the YouTube and they post it and they gain followers back and forth. And that's a strategic alliance. Not only does it build the friendship, it also builds both their businesses. Chapter 4 talked about ethics, and ethics are different than laws. Ethics are more morality based. So while it may be legal to like dump waste in the river, that is unethical and considered very wrong. Unfortunately, people do it. And until it's illegal and they face legal ramifications, they will continue to do it because it's cheaper than disposing of things properly. Chapter 5 discussed basic forms of business ownership. So you have sole proprietorship, partnerships, corporations, and the advantages and disadvantages of each. Many people who start a business are going to want to do a limited liability corporation so that if something goes wrong, their liability is limited and they can lose their business, but they won't lose their house and their cars and all of everything that they have worked hard for. Another popular one is franchising. Some popular franchises are McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, Dairy Queen. Those are the ones a lot of people think of when they think of franchising. Diet Center was big in the 80s. Weight Watchers is a big one. So usually when you franchise a place like McDonald's, the company owns the land. And you pay for the rights to do business there. You follow all of their regulations. And there is a McDonald's corporate office. They set the menu, the prices, the rules, and you are subservient to them. You own the business, but you don't own the business. It's a little more complicated than doing business just for yourself, like the small mom and pop shops like Bob's Burgers or the Garage Cafe. They have more freedom to do what they want, but they're not as well known and they're not as protected corporately. Okay, finally, since time is getting short, I'd like to talk about just-in-time inventory control. So a lot of companies are moving away from storing a bunch of supplies and having to make sure there's space and someone to watch over those supplies, and they're shipping things in so that they're on the assembly line right as they need it. And this is pretty amazing, especially in today's economy when things move really, really fast. But there's a disadvantage. If those supplies get held up somewhere, it throws a cog in the machine and everything's delayed. There was an example of this recently with a company that my friend owns, General Leathercraft, Pioneer Fitness. So he has a 6 to 8 week lead time normally. You order a belt, you click on the thing saying, I agree that I'm willing to wait this amount of time for my custom belt. Bam. Golden, right? And normally he gets them out 4 to 6 weeks. But in January, his white garment leather manufacturer, something happened. They didn't get it to him in time. And so he had quite a few orders backing up and customers getting mad. And it was nothing he did. He ordered it on time. He was guaranteed shipment. It just didn't show up. So Matt, being the good dude he is, he has offered gift certificates for the next purchase. And as soon as it got in, he stopped everything else, worked on those particular projects, and got them out within 2 days. That's pretty amazing. Now, other belt companies, you can wait 6 months and they don't care. But Matt does. But you can see how the just-in-time inventory management, when it doesn't get in on time, can really screw you up. So there's not a lot of ways around this for some people because they don't have the storage, they don't have the capacity. Things take up space. But if you work diligently and you monitor your inventory and your production time electronically, it can reduce a lot of things. This is Tammy Jo Benesiak, and I am currently out of time for this 10-minute video. Thank you and have a great day.